Hey again, and welcome back. New week, new download. Same old haircut, I'm afraid. Working on it. Well, no more fiddle-faddle. Let's jump right in. New Delhi, our first stop today. And because we like you so much, not one, but two stories for you. Item number one, okay, not very visually exciting, but the pictures telling the story all the same. The foreign secretaries of India and Pakistan starting a new round of peace talks over Kashmir. And as you might infer from the images, relations not so warm these days. Quote, under stress, as New Delhi calls it, blaming Pakistani elements for last week's Kabul embassy attack. Story number two, this time at the Indian Parliament. Talk about being under stress. Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, here flashing a big victory sign, maybe just a little bit too early. Mr. Singh facing a vote of no confidence in Parliament this week. His coalition has been crumbling of late, due largely to his support of the U.S.-India nuclear deal. Now, the outcome at this point of the vote, anyone's guess. The vote expected late on Tuesday. We'll keep you posted. So instead of two stories in one city, how about one story in a bunch of cities for you now? Bogota, Colombia first, a massive rally, many hundreds of thousands of Colombians on the streets. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh shoot. I'll take our word for it. The reason for the rally, a demand that the FARC guerrilla group release the dozens of hostages that it continues to hold in the Colombian highlands and jungles. This rally, just one of more than 40 around the world, including this one held in New York City. Okay, just kidding. Paris, obviously. Same demands here, though, for the FARC to release those hostages it continues to hold. And who better then to speak than just released FARC hostage Ingrid Betancourt, getting a rock star's welcome. Geez, she's even more popular than Colombian heartthrob Juanes, standing right next to her, whoever that is. It's been less than a month Ms. Betancourt was freed in a daring rescue by Colombia's military, and it looks like she is adjusting beautifully. Pomp and pain on display this week in England's Canterbury Cathedral, that the grand setting for Anglican leaders to meet in a once-a-decade summit, the Lambeth Conference it's called. Lots of tradition on display, and some fair amount of diversity too. Yeah. Well, fitting, given that the Anglican community's 80 million members globally. But it's a different sort of diversity that's putting the communion in conflict, namely the church's position on homosexuality and the U.S. branch's decision to consecrate an openly gay bishop. About 1/4 of invited Anglican leaders not even showing up to the conference, an indication in the words of one bishop that, quote, all is not well. Lastly today, there was a veritable flood of coverage last week of Pope Benedict XVI's travels to Australia and New Zealand. Outdoor masses, audiences with presidents, meeting the locals, blah, blah, blah. But there was one bit of tape of a papal audience that just didn't get the coverage we thought it deserved. Mostly because it involved these guys. Aww. Australia's fuzziest, and we're not including Hugh Jackman here, lining up for their own papal meet and greet. The pontiff chatting up wallabies, parrots, echidnas, and of course a koala, which apparently could really care less. Okay, all very cute. But here's our favorite, snakes. A carpet python, to be exact, and to be specific, a python named Sebastian. Now, we'll just leave aside the role of the snake in Roman Catholic teachings. We just love that Sebastian ultimately snuck his way into a prime spot for the big photo op. Well done. And I actually like snakes. Well, that is your download for today. We'll see you again tomorrow.